Hello, Bob Yates.
What's up, Annetta Wilson? Are you ready for tonight?
I am ready.
Hey, look, we're talking about fix your mind, fix your business.
Fix your business.
I got you on that one. See, because we've been doing fix your mind, fix your life for the last 2.5, 3 weeks or so. But tonight we decided to switch it up, fix your mind, fix your business. And real talk, we're going to go deep tonight. We're going to go deep on business. We're going to go deep on mindsets around business, because both of us are entrepreneurs, been in the game for a long time, and it's not easy. This is not for the faint of heart. When I talk about business, I'm saying business today is not for the faint of heart. It's never been. So we want to help anyone that might be struggling in your business, dealing with mindset issues around how am I going to get sales? How am I going to keep my business going? How do I function in this new world of business? And we're going to cover all of that. But so hopefully we'll have some people trickle in that's never heard of us before, Netta, because that's why we're doing the lives. We are so used to doing the Zooms and in these closed meetings. More people need to hear what we're doing.
Because we're doing some stuff.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. These last few, look, we've
been doing some stuff for years.
We have been. And look, just so y'all, just real talk, those that you see that are influencers, speakers, trainers, authors, coaches out there in the forefront, man, we all deal with this evil clown between our heads sometimes. We all deal with mindset issues. We all have to have a mindset reset sometimes. So let's jump into tonight. Okay. So I want to open this up this way. I started out by saying that business is not for the faint of heart. You know, most people will work their life 40, 50, 60 years in a job that they don't love, no passion for it, and they live their life afraid like that. And I'm talking about 95% of people will do this and never go for their dreams. There is a reason why business owners and people that are entrepreneurs decide to go for it, but it's only a few of us that choose to do it because the risk seems so great. But here's the thing. To me, it's risky to stay at a job where you're unfulfilled, to stay in something you don't love and don't have a passion for, and never decide to go for it for perceived security. And we all know that it's not even real security. The grand prize for entrepreneurship, the championship, is not becoming a multimillionaire. That's a great thing, or a billionaire. The championship, the grand prize, is freedom in living a life, living your life in a way where, man, you could high five your life. Man, I love how I did that. Now, Mel Robbins has something called high five your life. And I love this. If you can't high five your life right now, maybe you're not living a big enough life.
But Bob, I'm scared. But Bob, what if it doesn't work? But Bob, I've been at this job forever. But.
And what I want to say to that is get your butt out of the way and let's get out of your head and into your heart. Because the truth is, the risk is the same for all of us. You can choose your life playing it. You can live your life playing it safe, or you can take the risk of going for your dreams. And guess what? You would be amazed. Me and Annetta doing this conference right now is a example and a result of two people that took a risk in life.
And you don't have the Bob's story and my story are different and the same. They're the same in that we just stayed in line. You know, that's saying everybody who made it to the front of the line at some point was at the back of the line. We just didn't get out of line. That's right. My path was through a career in television news and the media and all this time put in, and what am I going to be? Who am I going to be if I don't have this job? And you don't just, in my opinion, just jump out there and say, okay, I'm going to start a business.
Right.
You got to do it smart, but you can start.
I totally agree with that. And I'm glad you said that, because nowadays, the way I'm coaching those who want to come out and be entrepreneurs, I'm not telling them leave your job or jump out, just do it. No, you really do have to have a plan. You really do have to have a passion. And let me just put this out there right now. I believe, Annetta, nowadays trying to be a solopreneur is the biggest risk of all. You don't want to be a solopreneur. The best way to kind of assure your success, be a part of a winning team. Surround yourself with a circle of champions. Surround yourself with other entrepreneurs, people that have already gone down the path that you want to go down.
You don't have time to make all the mistakes. Learn from somebody else.
Hello. And that's why, we run masterminds. Annetta and I run a private circle club. We run masterminds. And to me, it's the smartest and the best way to even move into business. Even God himself, when he decided to create the universe, he said, I'm not going to do this myself. Let us make man. Then the other thing, when the master decided to fulfill the plan of salvation, he didn't decide to do it on his own. He built a team.
Yes. And the thing is, we've used the term mastermind. And for those of you who may have heard that but aren't quite sure what it is, a mastermind is a third entity that is created when two or more people get together and pour their intellectual capital into each other. It creates another entity entirely, a mastermind. And the more people you have pouring into that circle, the greater the ideas and the farther the further and the farther everybody can go, because they're getting poured into from multiple people.
And that's a reality.
Napoleon Hill coined that.
It's smart. Sounds like Matthew 18:19 to me when you said that. If any two of us on earth, or it says, actually, one of them says, wherever two or three are gathered together.
Two or more are gathered. Yes.
So there am I in the midst.
It's not a new concept.
It's not. All the best concepts come from the same book.
Nothing new under the sun.
From the same book. So the idea of becoming an entrepreneur, the idea of fix your mind, fix your business, one of the first mindsets that I would want to encourage somebody that's watching right now or will watch the replay is don't try to do it by yourself. Don't go solo. I'm not smart enough to do it on my own. Annetta's not smart enough. So that's why, look, we even decided many years ago, we're better together doing this together than we are apart.
Yes. Yes, because we're excited about something different. And I think people get caught in the Lone Ranger syndrome where I have to do it all. I have to know how every single part of it works. I need to be able to do this and do this and do that, or I don't have control. Well, trying to do everything is the best way to lose control.
Oh, God.
And even the Lone Ranger had a sidekick.
Hey, if it's not your genius, it's not your job. And for those of you that are in the chat right now, I want y'all to start sharing this out already. I'm telling you, it's going to be good. There's somebody going to thank you for sharing this live stream tonight, because we're not getting ready to teach. We already teach it. But blow up that chat. If it's not your genius, it's not your job. So there's some things that I'm brilliant at, and there's some things I suck at, and I should never be doing them.
I actually worked with a coaching client today, and her thing was, I should be able to do everything in my business perfectly. I said, so if you're doing things that someone would not pay you the salary you're being paid now, if whatever that thing is would not command that amount of money, you need to delegate it. You need to hire someone to do that project. And it freed her, because she was thinking, she heads up an association. She was thinking she had to be able to do everything and know everything, or she was a failure at the job. I'm like, that's why you have a staff. That's why you have people who are experts at IT and marketing. And you may be a solo entrepreneur just getting started. There are still people who know what you don't. Find them.
Yeah.
Use them up.
Yeah, and
You
that
know?
whole thing of solopreneurship is a mindset, thinking that you have to do it, thinking that hiring somebody else is a cost. No, it should actually save you time and money if you hire the right person to take over the things you're not good at, so that
And
you can
you'll
give yourself
actually move
only
faster.
to the genius, give yourself to your genius. Do the thing. And look, we've made these mistakes, by the way. I was the solopreneur. I
Yes,
did everything in my first couple of businesses. I did everything. Right.
yes.
But you can only go so far doing that. There's no scaling as a one-person business. So Netta, we're going to get into three things tonight, but I'm getting ready to go there. Three ways to get more sales or boost your sales without cold calling, without constant posting, without paid advertisements, how to attract your ideal clients. We're going to talk about that. But before we do, I want to talk a little bit about the journey of what business and entrepreneurship is like. And I can say that, man, now after the pandemic, it's like a whole hard reset that I had to do in my business. So in your journey, Annetta, when you went from employee to entrepreneur back in 2005, what has the journey been like? I mean, I'm sure you maybe just thrived for the last, 20 years.
No, you being funny. You got jokes tonight.
Uh,
No, that road was bumpy. There was sometimes I'm glad I had on my seatbelt.
yeah,
It was scary.
yeah,
Let's be real. Stepping out
absolutely.
into your own or stepping out into anything that you
Yeah.
don't know is scary.
Mhm.
That's not bad. That's just human. The thing is, you have to know where to find the help. Find people who are already in the arena you're in and see what they're doing. You're not going to copy them. It's called modeling. If someone else has a system that works, model it. Don't steal it. But we all learn, our teachers model things for us. They teach us things. So the first thing I did was decide I was not going to quit my job until I had enough clients to replace my salary.
Smart.
So while I went out on my own in 2005, I started my business in 2000. So it took 5 years doing this part-time and being scared the whole time, but still going for it, to build up my business. And one of the ways I did it is one of the ways we're going to talk about tonight. No, but there were scary moments. I was fortunate enough to find some really good mentors who poured into me, and I just was willing to become a sponge and understand that there were things I didn't know, and I wasn't bothered by that because I was in a new environment.
You know what's interesting, Annetta, is I never thought about that until tonight, that you started your business in 2000. You left your job in 2005 and you met me in 2007. I didn't even think about that.
Yes.
But see, what I would want others to get from this is that those are the things, the laws, the rules that happen for entrepreneurs, that once you've been in the game a while, you kind of know that, you kind of live like that. You don't know who you're going to meet next year that's going to be a part of your journey. None of us know that.
You got to be prepared.
You got to be prepared.
You can't just jump out there and go, okay, I'm going to be an influencer. I'm going to be this powerful coach. I'm going to be this powerful speaker, teach. What kind of foundation or platform are you standing on? And can it withstand the tough times? And this is the stuff that a lot of people who encourage you to go into business, they won't tell you.
They don't tell you.
There are very few
like take the leap.
Right. There are very few overnight successes. Most overnight successes take about 5 to 10 years.
I was going to say 20. I was going to say 20.
I was trying to be generous.
I'm a 20-year overnight success. I've heard that phrase. So we're telling you that, everybody's journey is different. Let me share a little quick thing with you. I'm gonna give you the 3-minute version of my journey. And I decided to put it on the screen because I thought it might be funny. So I'm not going to start with that particular slide though. That slide there, if you can see it, and my thing is stuck, it takes a minute.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, good. All right, so let me see if I can go back though, because it's stuck. let's see. Can I go backwards? No, it's not. Okay, so let me go back. Okay. So here was my journey.
Look at you.
I know I'm handsome. So for
Oh
those of
my
you that have
goodness.
never
So
seen this
modest.
before, and it's catching up on Facebook right now. For those of you that have never seen this before, this was my first legitimate business license. That was back in 1982. And I was a vendor on the streets of Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. That was my beginnings of my entrepreneurial journey.
Wow.
I did have a pharmaceutical business before that. It was let's call it was a drugstore. Yeah, some of y'all might get it. That was when I was a teenager on the streets. But I'm thankful I got out of that life, and I went into business, and I got a license, and then I got a better picture, I think, for that second one. It looked a little bit better. That part down the middle of my head, man, I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, this piece of paper is turned to the side. I wish it was turned straight up so y'all could see it, but it's a circle of champions. This was the beginning of an idea, an entrepreneurial idea. And by the way, I love talking about this, you all, and I get fired up when I even think about talking about this, because some of you all have an idea that you want to turn into a business. I'll talk a little bit about that somewhere tonight, even maybe in this introduction, but it all starts with an idea. Long story short, I got this idea and it turned into a command from God. Take this unfinished space in your basement and turn it into a training place. Because what I was going to do with Circle of Champions is I thought I was going to start doing some things in hotels and libraries and just start branching out. God said, I want you to start it from home. Take this unfinished space, turn it into a training place. So I did that. It turned from what you just saw to this image here, went out and laid it out, took about 4 months to do. And this was like the first leap of faith into Circle of Champions. And after I did all of this, I was scared. Scared, what if nobody comes? Scared, what if people don't want to come to a home-based seminar? But while I had that idea, I was on fire with it. And what I've learned is that when you are pursuing something that's important to you, that you are on fire with, man, you are fully alive.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you right now, one of the reasons why some people that are listening are stuck, you're not pursuing something that's big enough to light you up. And what happens, you get stuck when you do that. You get stuck when you stop growing. So
I call it divine discomfort.
There you go.
You can't get comfortable when you know there's something bigger that you're supposed to do.
And guess what? The only reason people get on roller coasters and go to amusement parks and get on scary rides, they don't want to get on and feel calm the whole time. They want to go through the ups and downs. They want to feel that thrill of the ride, right? And then when you get off, man, it was like they clapping at the end of the roller coaster because the ride was so much fun. Now, you don't clap when you get off the merry-go-round. You don't clap, it's got to be a ride. So long story short, it turned into this, started building, and the rest is history. And that's why Annetta and I are here with you today. All these people started becoming attracted to Circle of Champions. And what Circle of Champions did, it changed my life, because the dream that God gives you, man, it is an exciting journey, but it is full of twists and turns and ups and downs. And sometimes, Annetta, did you ever feel like, and I'm gonna end it with this slide, it turned into a family? So the question is, did you ever think you were going to lose it all, or could lose it, or could lose it all? Yeah.
I thought, I'm going to have to go back and get another job. Of course, there were those moments, but what they did, they spurred me to figure out where was the door that I wasn't looking at. Because there's always another door, and so when times got tough like that, I would just work more diligently to let people know what I was doing and that I was available and those sorts of things. So it is a constant effort to keep moving forward. But isn't that what life is anyway? We're going to wake up every morning and make this up every day. Every day we make it up. But at the end of the day, we get the result of what we've made up from the morning. So if I'm going to get up and make up something anyway, let me make up something that's going to move me forward, as scary as it might be. Because everything you want, every freedom you can imagine, and if you couldn't have it, you wouldn't be able to imagine it, is on the other side of your fear and your discomfort.
Yeah. And so we could do a whole mindset reset, a whole fix your mind, fix your business, just dealing with the fear aspect of it. But then there are other components. There's other things you need to be successful in business. And so, and to grow your business in this environment. So we want to jump into that tonight. For those of you that are watching by Facebook, we don't have anybody in our room because we didn't open the room to anybody. So unfortunately, we can't see y'all, but we know you're there. And
I'm
we want you to win.
looking down at the chat on Facebook. So I see
Okay.
we have some folks with us. So welcome, y'all.
Good.
Says
Welcome.
Southern girl in me coming out.
I'm looking too. And so, yeah, so, and I see some, I can't see the comments, but I see comments coming in. Those of you out there in Facebook land, we love you. We know you're there. And we hope that our transparency just in this first segment, opening this up, will help you to learn or help you with three things. Number one, don't try to go it alone. Don't be a solopreneur. Don't feel like you've got to know it all and do it all. One of the best things you can do, if you're not a part of a circle, if you're not a part of a group, if you're not a part of a mastermind, if you're not a part of a network or an organization, the first thing I recommend you do is to do that, to find your circle of champions. One of the reasons I formed an entrepreneurs network is because I didn't really have that when I started my business, and I felt the loneliness. I felt like I was all alone at times. It's like, does my family even believe? And I had to get to where even my family not believing was not going to stop me.
So can I say something about
Yes.
that? Oftentimes it is the folks who are closest to us that have the most difficult time buying into the dream we have.
Yes.
It's not that they don't love us. It's not that they don't care about us, but they have their image in their head of who we are and what we're about. And once that image is fixed and their idea of us is fixed, it's very hard to get them to shift that because they've known us. And sometimes it's that familiarity that makes it difficult for people to buy into your dream because they're used to you being a certain way. So don't let that stop you.
Yeah.
Because if you let that stop you, anything smaller than that will also stop you.
Well, that brings two questions, but one thing I wanted to say, but let me say the one that's on my mind now. It's going to be a test in life of what will stop you, whether it's the opinion of somebody else, whether it's your own fear, whether it's your own self-image, whether you didn't want it bad enough. You will be tested no matter what it is you say you want. And I kind of want to say God will allow you to be tested or test you. How bad do you want the thing you say you want? That's the first thing. Going back to what Annetta just said about people. People are very afraid sometimes that you're going to leave them behind. They can be intimidated by you, that you have the courage to go for it. I was not a bold person. I was not that person until I had to do some radical things spiritually to lose the fear of man, just put it that way, and to lose my concern of the opinions of others. I would say if I didn't get rid of that, man, I wouldn't even put out a video on Facebook. And I was just talking about this to you, Annetta, the other day about something called irrational fear. There was this gentleman went and served in the army, I believe, or in one of the forces. What do you call it?
Armed services.
Armed services. 8 years. He saw all kinds of casualties, all kinds of things. He took the biggest risk. But when he came out, we don't know who he is, so it doesn't really matter. He was afraid to launch a podcast, to push the button to post a video. That's irrational fear. Think about what you've experienced or what this person experienced, but yet something so small. It's like the elephant that's afraid of a mouse.
Yeah, and
Think
some
about
of it
that.
too is when you're going out on your own, it's you on the line. And the profession I think that matches that the most in terms of an example, is actors. They audition all the time and they get rejected all the time. And in their heads, they rejected me until they get to the point, I just wasn't right for that role. They're not rejecting me, they're rejecting my interpretation of that thing. And that's where you have to eventually get to as an entrepreneur. If somebody says no, doesn't mean you can't do it. You just can't do it with them.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. So find your tribe, find your circle of champions. Don't go it alone. And then just know, as I said 2 weeks ago, fear ain't going nowhere. Tell fear, come on, get in the car. We are going for a ride.
Love it.
Fear, you know where we going today? We're going to Faith Avenue. Because that's, whatever it is, you're going to have to deal with that. It's going to be there. So let's get into the night. Now, this is going to seem like we're switching gears, but there are people that will see this replay and that you right now are in a new business environment that started post-pandemic, which was really just a few months back. And what is your business like today? And do you have the same method of attaining the clients that you want to attain? And how are you reaching people? And I would say a lot of reaching people today, I would just say this, in terms of you building your business, it's going to force you to do uncomfortable things, things that you don't want to do. You've heard the saying, do what you love and the
you'll
money
never
will
work
follow.
Yeah, do what you love, find a way to get paid for it, and you'll never work a day in your life.
Well, I'm going to say another thing that they don't say a lot. In order to succeed, you have to do what you hate sometimes.
Woo.
Yeah, you got to do stuff you do not want to do. When you see me doing what I do, it's not like I want to do a lot of these things. It's what it takes to succeed. And so the attitude is whatever it takes. I may not want to do it. I may not love to do it. There are parts of my business I do not like. And some of them I do have to do. For instance, I could have somebody do a video for me, but nobody can think for me. Right. Nobody can say it the way I'm going to say it. Nobody can come and talk about Circle of Champions the way I can, only because this thing is a product, an idea that God gave to me. And so he has made it so nowadays, if you want to grow your business, you may have to show up in a way that's uncomfortable for you. You may have to do videos. You may have, I'm not saying everybody does, but audio, written, video, you have to look at how am I going to promote my business? I can promise you it's going to be one of these three ways. It's going to be you are a great writer and you know how to create copy that compels people to want to know more about you. You're going to put some audio out there. You're going to put some video out there along with your landing pages or your Facebook posts or whatever. And in a minute, we're going to give you one of the secrets that's really going to help you to not even have to be so uncomfortable doing some of those things, but just be willing to do it. So the first way to sell more of your product, to get more clients, to grow your business is through the number one fear in the world. It's the world's most profitable skill, and it is through public speaking.
Yes.
And so Annetta and I have been doing it for a long time. I've been public speaking since I was 2 years old. And that's when I first mumbled my first word. And there's no such thing as private speaking, right?
That's right. That's right.
And so public speaking, being willing to get out and start speaking more to people. And Annetta, I'm going to let you lead off on public speaking, and then I'm going to chime in. So let's talk about why public speaking is one of the best ways that you can grow your business without cold calling, without constant posting, and without paid advertising.
Number one, it's efficient. You don't have to have all these one-on-one conversations. You've got people together in a room.
Yes.
And we don't listen as a group. They're there as individuals listening to you, but you don't have to talk to each one of them individually. And if you're really good, if you're really impactful, if you give them some information that's going to help them, they're going to tell other people about you. So it's a way for you to create an unpaid sales staff going out and sharing your message. The second thing is, now that's efficient. The second thing is it's great practice, because at some point to get somebody to say yes to whatever it is you're selling, your product or your service, or even an idea, you've got to be a captivating enough communicator that they stick around and listen. So the more you do it, the better you become at it. It's like everything else. When we first learned to drive, we were 10 and 2 and eyes big and, breathing shallow. Now we get in the car, we don't even remember how we got from point A to point B because we got a lot on our minds. It's like, oh, we're here. How did that happen? Repetition.
Yeah.
So it's efficient. The more you do it, the better you become at it. And it's a great way to build your reputation as an expert.
Yeah, love it.
Those are just 3.
Those are 3. No, but they're 3 powerful keys. And I hope that you all in the Facebook group and those that'll be watching the replay will take note of that. So the question is, when we do our Champion Speaker Boot Camp, which we're bringing back this year live, you all, just so you know, we teach the different platforms. And everybody has to find their speaking platform, like what platform feels good and right for you.
So when you say platform, for those who've never heard that, Bob, what does that mean?
So it means that there are lots of different forms of public speaking. You have podcasts today where you're being interviewed, and maybe you feel more comfortable being interviewed by somebody than just having to get up and give a presentation. There are live stages where you get on stage and of course you're talking to a live audience. There are
what we're doing tonight.
Yeah, what we're doing tonight with Zoom. And by the way, this was my most uncomfortable platform. I felt so uncomfortable doing Zoom conferences after 20 years of doing live events, and now I have to go behind this screen and I have to manually try to figure out what the heck I'm doing, because I didn't know how to do Zoom. I wasn't using Zoom because I loved the live audience, and I still do. But there's different, when I go through the different platforms, back then I used to talk about television. I used to talk about radio. I used to talk about, even when you're doing a presentation to 10 people, that's public speaking, 5 people. Stop thinking that public speaking is speaking to this large group of people.
Yeah, we're not talking about a stadium.
Yeah. So, but finding your platform. So here's where we go. And I almost drew a blank there for a second, Annetta. Seminars, workshops, boot camps. For me, it was seminars. I love seminars. I love going to them, and I loved doing them. Seminars became the thing for me. That was my platform, was live seminars where I could talk to a group of people and engage with them.
Yes.
Something about that.
I met at a seminar.
We met at a seminar. So finding the thing, and by the way, that's still my favorite thing. It's still virtual will be here with us forever. I don't think we're going away from virtual.
No.
But live is back, you all, just so you know, it's back. And there's something about it when I look at how my business thrived in the live environment and how my business stalled when I first started having to go this way. It's because there's some things that are more natural to you. They will feel like it's you. This is you. You feel alive when you are doing it the way that best suits you.
Yes.
And yours was different because your platform was news. You were a news anchor.
So I was and still am very comfortable in front of a camera. And the live in a room, I did some public speaking, but not on the level that you did. You built your business on seminars. Yeah. Seminars were something I got into after being in a business where I sat in front of a camera every night. So we came to it very differently, which is what, but they were both public speaking. They were both reputation builders.
And guess what? If we had to switch roles back then, I would have been nervous on your platform doing your role, and you might have been nervous in mine because that uniquely fit you. You pick Oprah. She doesn't necessarily want to go around necessarily speaking on her platform was this television show and the way she did it. And she built an empire off of it because she was
a news reporter too.
Yeah, yeah,
Got it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so finding your platform is one of the keys. And nowadays, the platform has changed. I would say you need to find your virtual stage, and you also need to find your physical stage. But the question is, how do you even get on other people's stages? How do you get in front of people? And let me give you a business tip right now. I don't care what you do when it comes to building the most beautiful website, the most awesome landing page, all the things that you do to promote your business, nothing will trump you talking to real people in
Right.
real time. Even a pre-recorded video is good, but what's great about this for those that are watching us right now is it's in real time. We are right here with you in real time. And there's something
Yeah.
about that people love.
Well, it's the authenticity.
Yeah.
It's we're not practicing and trying to be perfect, because people aren't practiced and perfect. People will relate to you because you're just like them. There used to be a time in public speaking where being very polished and having every note down and knowing exactly where to stand. And it was almost like a performance. That was great in the 80s and the 90s. That doesn't work anymore.
I
People
don't want
want
to do it.
real. No,
Yeah, I don't want to perform. I'm not an actor. And I think, Annetta, you hit on something that's really important right there, is that like there's going to be some that's going to listen to this, and you've been thinking about it for a long time. Let me give another example because I just got one. Me and you did our first wisdom talk the other day together.
Yes.
Different platform, right?
Yes.
And the thing about it is that that's a audio platform. We have these audio apps that allow you to not have to get camera ready. All you got to do is press a button on your phone and let's do it. Annetta, was it fun or what doing it?
It was so much fun, especially because I didn't have to put on makeup.
Exactly. And I had already been doing wisdom talks, but I've been wanting to do one with Annetta for a while. Let's be a little transparent about that, Annetta. Were you shying away from it a little bit?
I was, because I didn't understand the platform. And so full transparency, we always teach what we need to learn. I've always said you don't have to be perfect, but I got caught in that too. And then I realized I'm just talking to people. I love to talk. Sometimes you have to shut me up. So that it ended up being
after we did it, even when we got started, it was nothing. You know why? Because we already really have great chemistry. And the reason why I wanted to bring that out, Annetta, and look, this is we want to help you. And so us hiding like, okay, she didn't have anything. I felt really nervous doing my first wisdom talk. I had never done it before.
Right.
So how do everything you do for the first time, you're going to feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
Just about everything.
And I would like to because I'm looking at the chat, I would like to know of the platforms that we mentioned or the things that make you a little hesitant about public speaking, put them in the chat so we can see them. The beauty of us being live is we can respond to you in real time. So what have been your hangups, hesitations, like, I don't know, about public speaking? Have we shifted how you think about public speaking? Because we're not talking about getting in front of an auditorium full of people.
Yeah.
You can talk to 3 people and make a presentation. Yeah. So I'd be interested to know what the concerns or things that make you go, about public speaking are.
Yeah. And you hit on the key thing. And so when we talked earlier about doing things that are uncomfortable, I would say there are still, like, we're doing lives now a lot. We were doing a lot of Zoom conferences where we're in the room going live. The thing that bothered me about live is that, hey, you can't edit that out. You right there. Yep. There ain't no editing. And so
but it is.
At the same time, if you care enough about people, if you believe enough in your product and your service, if you want to grow your business and this is what it requires, then you just need to show up and give your best, speak from your heart. We have a declaration in our speaker training, and it says, I am authentic and I speak from my heart. And I just don't like to try to perform. The harder you try to do something or to impress people, the less they will be impressed by you. But
Because they know it's a game.
yeah. And so when we share our fears with you, we want you to know, man, every step, man, that first Zoom conference was like, but I had to do it. It's like, I know I've got to do this, so let me just jump in.
Yeah.
The March 2020, when the governor gave a stay-at-home order, I was on Zoom the next week. I didn't want to be it. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to do it, but here I come.
Yeah. And now look at you. You don't even think about it anymore.
Guess what? I don't, but there's still some functions I don't know how to use. Who cares?
Yeah, but you made it here tonight.
Exactly.
So you're doing
I know
okay.
how to push start. I know how to start, I'm just kidding, but you got to start somewhere. So when we talk about public speaking being one of the first ways for you to grow your business, get more clients without cold calling, without constant posting, and without paid advertising, there's something about it that when you talk to more people, the people that are winning, I'm going to give you a clue. No, I'm going to give you the answer. The people that are winning in sales are talking to more people and making more offers. I'm going to say it again. They're talking to more people. They're making more offers.
It's a numbers game.
It is. It is. Because the more people you talk to and share your product or service with, but also we're going to talk about how you should talk to them. Mm-hmm. Because it's not just rushing in to sell your product. That's not going to get you the business you want. It's not going to get you the response you want. So let's go to that one now. Let's talk about how you talk about your business, which is the second way to get more business, is how you even start the conversation about your business, your product, or your service.